So these notes are on angles in triangles, and some of this you might already know, but I'm going to do two different videos for these notes, one for the front and one for the back, because the problems on the back are a little bit more difficult, so I want to make sure that it's a nice short video to watch both of them. So we've talked about before that the angles in a triangle will add up to 180, but we never gave a name to it, and it's called the triangle sum theorem. So the triangle sum theorem, and we know sum means add, this just means that all three angles in a triangle will add up to 180 degrees. And that's for any triangle, anything at all, obtuse, acute, right, whether the angles are all the same or all different, it doesn't matter. Every time they're always going to add up to 180. So when I have these two triangles down here, if I want to find this missing angle, and I'll show you two different ways to plug this into your calculator, but you can just take 180 and subtract both angles. And when you subtract both angles, for this one, you would get 59 degrees. So that's what this angle is going to be there. Or, if you don't like that method, here I know this is 90 degrees. You can always add these. 90 plus 38 will give you 128. And then you can subtract that from 180, and you'll get 52 degrees for your answer. So whatever method you like better, whether you like subtracting right from the 180 twice, or if you like adding them together first and then subtracting, it doesn't matter. All right? So this is some more review. We haven't done angles since September, so it's been quite a while since we did any angles, but we're going to need to use some previous knowledge here to solve this. So it's finding all of the missing angles. So we want to find 1, 2, 3 missing angles so that our triangles are full. So this first one down here, to find this angle, I'm just going to subtract these two from 180, because that's usually the method that I use. So that's going to be 40 degrees. So that's going to give me that angle there. Now this triangle only has one angle, but hopefully you remember that these are going to be equal. These are called vertical angles. And again, we learned about vertical angles way back in September, but vertical angles are congruent. That means they're the same, or equal. So that means if this one is 64, then across from it that one is also 64. They are the same. And then to find my last angle here, now I can subtract 60 and 64. And that's going to give me 56 for my last angle up there. Okay? So remember, vertical angles, if you have two lines that cross like this, then angles across from each other, they will be equal. Now again, we want to find all the missing angles here, so we have two angles to find. But we're only given one, so we can't subtract those from 180 just yet. But this is another vocab that we learned way back when. If I look, these two make a line. So to find this angle, this is called a linear pair. And if they make a line, if angles make a line, or form a line, then they equal 180 degrees. So these two angles here would equal 180. So I'll take 180 minus 154, and that's going to give me 26. So this angle is 26 degrees. So again, if anything forms a line, and it doesn't just have to be two angles, it could be 3 or even 4. If they make a line, they're going to equal 180. So now, my angle here, I can take 180 minus 81 minus 26, and that's going to give me 23 degrees. Oh, I'm sorry. Can't read my own handwriting. It's 73. My eraser's taking a moment. There we go. 73 degrees. Okay, so linear pairs, if they make a line, then they're also going to add up to 180, and then you just subtract your other angles to get your last one there. And we have one more picture here. And again, this notation here is going back to the beginning of the year, but remember when you're following an angle, A, B, C, so A, B, C is going to be that angle there. So that whole thing is 77. So to get this little piece, I'm just going to take 77 minus 65, and that's going to give me that little one in there is 12 degrees. All right? Now, since this piece is a 90-degree angle, that means this one will also be 90 degrees. So to find this angle, I'll just take 180 minus 90 minus 65, and that'll give me 25 degrees for this one. And then my last angle here, I'll take 180 minus 90 again, minus 12, and that gives me 78 degrees. So really these examples on the front kind of used previous knowledge. If we remember that all three angles add up to 180, remember vertical angles, the ones across from each other, are congruent. Linear pairs, one that make lines, will be 180 degrees, and then our notation here, A, B, C, just follow those points. The middle one will be your vertex, and if you want to trace it like I did here in pink, it'll help you to see what angle that is that equals 77. Okay, I'm going to make another video for the back where the examples get a little bit more complicated, but if you're having any trouble with this or you need some clarification, just ask questions, or there's plenty of practice in the Crate for you to do or on IXL. There's a lot of practice for you to get better at these.